Hello everybody, I'm so glad to see you, and I hope you can hear me over all this rain. In this video, I'll be trying out a bunch of beauty tricks from World War II. In many countries, cosmetics were in short supply during the war years, and many women worked out clever ways to make do using everyday household items. I thought it would be interesting to try out some of these methods and see how well they worked. The first thing I tried was doing my makeup using things you might find in the average home as substitutes. My source for this little experiment was a book I found in the library many months ago, and I can't remember what it's called at the time of filming this, but I'll put the title in the video description once I do. Anyway, here's how it went. My makeup kit consisted of a colored pencil, shoe polish, beetroot, and a lump of coal. Let's get started, shall we? The only cosmetics I'm wearing right now is just a little bit of powder on my face, so I'm not so shiny. The rest will of course be our household alternatives. The first thing I always do when I do my makeup is my eyebrows, so let's start with that. I'm using a common everyday coloring pencil, which I found, and it seems to have been chewed very thoroughly by one of the dogs. I put some water on it, so it will hopefully make for a nice eyebrow pencil, I hope. Let's try it out. There we go. It looks slightly orange, but I'm not going to say anything until it's over. Well, it has a very subtle look. I'm not quite sure this is my shade. It looks close enough, but I suppose we're going for a more natural light look. Next up we have mascara, and for that I'm going to be using Brilliant Shine shoe polish. I'm a little bit scared of this one because I don't know if I'm going to be able to take it off at the end of the day, but let's try. Good heavens, it's working! And quite nicely too! This is wonderful, it's so effective! I'm impressed. I mean, look at that, no lumps! I'm sorry about the disconcerting close-up, but I just wanted you to see how great the results are with the shoe polish. I'm really surprised! Now I'd like to try out my rouge and lipstick, which is of course beetroot. I don't think it looks that good, but on the other hand, I don't think I'm doing it very well. I don't want to use a powder puff. Okay, I will sacrifice one. This one here is old and nasty anyway, so let's use it. Gosh, that stains. Help. Ah! Alternatively, I can... Oh! Terrible decision. Well, it does work very well as rouge, but as you can see, I think it works a bit too well. I'm blushing. I'm so embarrassed. I do think it has evened out though. At least, it doesn't look noticeably different. So now it's onto the lipstick. It's definitely more of a lip stain, which I really like the look and colour of. And you can always be sure it matches your rouge. I mean, jeepers, it really surpassed my expectations. It looks fantastic. I love it. Anyway, I'm not finished quite yet with my makeup. I do still have my eyeshadow. And that is the one I actually find the weirdest. So without further ado, now for a daytime look, this makeup will be just fine. But if we want to get a little fancy for the evening, we of course need eyeshadow, and that is Vaseline and coal dust. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but the first thing I'll do is put a little bit of Vaseline on my eyelids. Mixing it in with my shoe polish mascara. What a life I'm living. And that looks nice and shiny and glamorous already. But the finishing touch, of course, is our coal dust. Got a little piece of coal here in a tissue. And I'm going to use the other half of my Q-tip because it is 1944 and we are thrifty ladies. Scrape some off. Ooh, there's a lot. And okay, I'm not going to lie, it looks rubbish and my makeup is ruined. It's too much Vaseline. Is it perfect? No. In fact, I think it looks rather grotesque. But is this as good as it's going to get? Probably. So I'm keeping it like this. And here we have it. Our wartime makeup. Despite a couple of flaws, I'm really quite pleased with this makeup. And I'm beyond surprised at how well some of these ingredients ended up working. I have to say, once again, how impressed I am by the sheer genius and creativity of the women of the 1940s, and how they managed to find such clever and convincing substitutes for when things got tough. Next up, I'll be trying something I've been curious about for quite some time. As you may know, there was a massive stocking shortage during World War II because silk and nylon were needed for the war effort. This started a trend of liquid stockings, where women would paint their legs to create the illusion of stockings. If you've seen this video of mine, you'll know that I have some unfinished business with liquid stockings. If you haven't watched the video, I tried to recreate liquid stockings out of gravy, as was apparently done during wartime, but it was 1, disgusting, and 2, unsuccessful. Now, some of you in the comments pointed out that it was most likely gravy browning that was used instead of the actual sauce, which explains a lot. Anyway, today I'll be trying out another unusual method of liquid stocking, dyeing my legs with tea. Let's hope this one works. I might have lied a little bit in the last clip when I said today, since I'm actually filming this the day afterwards, because yesterday the weather was awful, but never mind. My stockings are waiting for me in the form of a warm English breakfast tea, so let's put them on. Cheers! Smells delicious. It's a pity my legs won't appreciate it. The good thing about the tea is that the tea bag acts like a makeup sponge, so application is going to be a lot easier than it was with the gravy. Am I just really impatient, or is it doing absolutely nothing? Eventually, after applying more pressure with the tea bag, I started to see some colour at last, though this was at the expense of the tea bag, which now sported a hole. But no matter. After slathering on another layer of the tea, I noticed a very slight difference in colour on my legs, as demonstrated here in these shots, though it was rather subtle. At some point, while dyeing my other leg, the tea bag broke completely, so I took that as a sign to stop. Then it was time to wait for my new stockings to dry, out in the sunshine. Though it seems as they dried, the colouring pretty much disappeared, so I decided drawing a back seam was not worth it. No difference. Well, I'm terribly disappointed, mostly because I know people did this, and it worked. Several sources state that this was a common way of creating liquid stockings back in the war, so the problem must be me. But what on earth did I do wrong? I did notice on one of my legs where I did 2 layers of tea that the skin is a little bit darker, but certainly not enough to look like stockings at all, I'm afraid. What do I do? Maybe I can bathe in tea, but then it wouldn't look like stockings because it would be my whole body. Or maybe the tea is not concentrated enough. I don't know. Maybe some of you in the comments have any ideas for me, but for now, I'm done with liquid stockings. For now. I'll be back to try again some other time. This isn't over. But it is for now. Anyway, I might as well drink this tea now, since it has to be useful for something. It's cold. The day has come to a close, and I'd like to try out one more thing. It's said that instead of makeup remover, some women use small amounts of lard or vegetable oil to get the job done. I find this quite interesting because those items were in fact rationed, at least in England. But then again, most things were. Anyway, I have some vegetable oil here, and I'm going to try to take off today's makeup with it. To my surprise, the vegetable oil did a wonderful job of removing my makeup. It even managed to get rid of my mascara without any fuss. Just take a look for yourself. Here's one eye with makeup and the other without. Though oily, I found it just as effective as my normal makeup remover. Okay, I had to go somewhere else because the lighting in my bathroom was truly criminal. I really wish I had checked that beforehand. But anyway, I removed all of my makeup using oil. It's quite obvious because my face is covered in it, but I think it did a fantastic job. There's not a scrap of makeup left on my face. So I'd say that experiment was a massive success. I'll keep this in mind if I ever run out of my makeup remover. Thank you, clever ladies of the 40s. Now I think I am going to rinse my face off. Goodbye. Oh, and thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time!